Official mentors, and he's been a district champion for the last 2 years in different competitions, and has represented our club, won many prizes. So, Ron.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As I venture forth before the meeting starts, to greet the guests, I often get a couple of different responses to what Toastmasters is really about. And the first response has to do with bread in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
And I realize a couple of my past speeches have been a little burnt on the edges. But I don't think this is quite what Toastmasters is about. You've probably guessed the second topic as to what we're about. This is from an opera, Il Brindisi, Italian for the toast, from La Traviata. And is this what Toastmasters is about? Well, actually, it is, in part. We have a number of manuals, as you've heard already, that we use to guide us in our speeches. And this one is an advanced manual called the Special Occasion Speeches. And the first project is mastering the toast for weddings, to be a best man, whatever. By the way, guests and even members, if you have a special occasion and you've come to us and you're desperate, talk to us. We'll walk you through it. We can get you through it, even if you haven't given your icebreaker yet. So yeah, we are about this. But we're a lot more than that. Toastmasters was started by Dr. Ralph Medley in the 1920s in a YMCA. And the reason why he started it is because the young men at the Y were such poor public speakers and communicators that he felt he had to do something. So he started thinking, and he came up with this whole Toastmaster idea. I need a clicker. Keep on running across the screen there. And what Dr. Smedley thought he would do is to empower these young men to be more effective communicators and leaders. But he didn't want to just have a classroom setting where he was lecturing to these students and they were just sitting there taking notes. No. He wanted them to learn by doing and to receive feedback as to what they did well and what they could improve upon. That's exactly what we do today in these meetings. But he went further because initially the feedback was only coming from him. He later discovered that, hey, if I let these young men give the feedback to each other, not only will the speaker be learning, but the person giving the feedback is also learning. And that's what we do today. It's a form of mentoring. Brief history. Toastmasters started about 1924, I believe, in Bloomington, Illinois, and later in Rock Island. Both of those clubs kind of fizzled after about a year. So he moved to San Jose, started another club right here, and ultimately ended up in Santa Ana, California, where things really started to take off. Today, Toastmasters, our headquarters is in Rancho Santa Margarita, right in this state. We have 300,000 plus members worldwide in 126 countries, and growing. In fact, our district here is going to be split in half shortly because we have so many clubs now that Toastmasters wants us to split into two. We're getting too big. So what has Toastmasters done for this guy named Ron? When I first came to Toastmasters, I didn't know this was Toastmasters. I came for the business meetup, that half an hour that we hold before the meeting starts. And then somebody hit a gavel and everybody sat down and they had this Toastmasters meeting. It went on for an hour and then we had some more networking afterward, but I loved what I saw. I joined the next session and I gave my icebreaker speech, my first speech, the following session. Fabulous place to learn, and in doing so, I have made a wonderful bunch of friends here. Great, great group of people. I've improved my public speaking a lot. Before joining Toastmasters, I was unaware of a lot of different things I needed to do, such as using gestures when I was speaking. My first speech was like this. Using humor and vocal variety in speeches. These were items that were difficult for me, and I learned by getting up here and by doing and by receiving feedback from my friends, and I do the same for them. I also developed my leadership skills by participating, by filling roles, by making the club successful, such as the ah counter and the timer and the grammarian. All of these roles are important. And what can Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, ToastMasters, do for you? If you're an entrepreneur, obviously the networking that we have in the beginning, I've visited numerous other Toastmaster clubs in the Bay Area. There are 262 of them currently. And none have the energy or the number of guests that we have here. We are very, very unique in that regard. Most Toastmasters clubs are very, very happy if you get one guest per meeting. We typically get 10 to 30. We have an energy and a spirit that I do not feel at any other Toastmaster club. But we also offer some practical things. You've heard two very valuable speeches for Toastmasters today. One on the mindset of an entrepreneur, having the right mindset. A second one that gave you very, very practical advice on how to get the best fares if you need to travel for business. We offer pitch practice. If you're an entrepreneur, once a month, we devote the last 15 minutes to pitch practice, and once a quarter the entire meeting, where you get to come up here and pitch your actual business for 2 minutes. Whether it's venture capital money you're looking for, an angel, a business partner, or just customers, this is your chance to come up here, make the mistakes, get the feedback, and then when the real time is for you to make your pitch, you're ready, you're prepared. We have a mentor program, and we also have a very wonderful host called InnoSpring. Our mentor it's a problem for me. I didn't have a mentor when I joined. You can see the tragic results today. It's optional for our new members. We will help you at minimum with your first 3 speeches, if you want somebody to. Some members prefer not to. If you need more mentorship, we're here as long as you need us. Advanced mentoring is available. We have a number of professional speakers here. Bert has given numerous professional speeches. Will is giving one at a tech conference at some point. I've given professional speeches. Roy is a professional speech coach. We're here to help you, and we're also here to help people become leaders if they want to become an officer, which is another way to develop your leadership skills. And finally, I'd like to give a quick plug for our host, InnoSpring. They have, outside of Toastmasters, mentoring services for anybody who has a venture and you're not sure what to do. You have a brilliant idea, but you're not sure what to do next. You can get seed funding, venture capital, incubator space, and access to this China market. It's really not very big, though. It's only 1.4 billion potential customers. And of course, administrative resources such as paralegals. So, at Toastmasters, we learn from a mentor, but we can learn by being a mentor, and we all win, Mr. Toastmaster.